Hi Animal Crossing peeps! Welcome to episode 2 of my Island Project series. In this video, I will be transforming my museum. Here's a close-up of my museum, and here's a zoomed out version of my museum before I transformed it. Feel free to pause the video if you want to take a closer look of my old museum, but now let's get started with the transformation. Some of the clips in this video will be recycled from my Japanese village video, such as this one, since I worked on the museum and the Japanese village layout together, so that the entrances of the Japanese village would flow with the museum exterior. Mainly, the waterfall I made for the museum is in the same layer area as the Japanese village entrance. If this is confusing, you should go and watch my Japanese village video for reference. What I'm doing now is terraforming a second layer for my huge waterfall I plan to put behind my museum. So I'll actually start by sharing the actual vision I have for my new museum. So if y'all tuned into my island tour video, you know that I initially wanted the museum on 2 layers so I could add 5 inclines to make really nice stairs going towards the entrance, since apparently real fancy museums have lots of stairs. I maxed out on inclines in Animal Crossing, so I needed another layout that was just as epic. The old museum layout I had earlier was very temporary. It was too small and I couldn't put too much around the exterior without cluttering the area. So I decided to make this new layout. I wanted to expand the right side of the museum by destroying my brick staircase and the second layer to make space for the museum plaza. I envisioned having dinosaurs all over my museum exterior. Additionally, I found really nice custom designs on Instagram and Reddit that I wanted to use to make my museum signs and my museum gift shop. So here I'm laying out the paths for my museum plaza. I always mark up the location of where I place my building. So the empty patch of land you see is where I plan to move my museum. Unfortunately, I had to move the museum twice because you could only place buildings on empty plots of land. So I couldn't just scooch the museum over a few spaces. Even though it costed extra money to move the museum, it was needed because I'm all about that symmetry. So the rest of my city area around the museum is a work in progress, so the paths don't really match up as much. So here I'm laying out the fences to separate my museum plaza from the walkway. I'm actually really in love with the iron fences in the blue color. If you look closely, they actually match the museum roof and the accents. So right now I'm testing out this white marble custom design that I found online, but I didn't film everything because I ran out of memory. Also, coincidentally, while I was working on my museum, there was an update which upgraded the museum. So now the museum looks even more epic. Hooray! Back to the custom design, it looked nice on my computer, but somehow the white roads in Animal Crossing don't look that great in my opinion. So here you see me replacing all the white paths with some really cute museum tiles I found online. The downside of this is that it takes up a lot of custom design spaces in the app. So here I downloaded particularly 4 patterns. There were actually more, but I wanted to keep it minimal. So now it's time for our favorite singer, Mr. 𝒘𝒊𝒕𝒉, to take over. So this is one of my favorite 𝒘𝒊𝒕 songs, KK Cruising. So right now I'm going to Able Sisters so I could download some really nice custom designs so I could make info panels in front of the museum, and also download some designs for my gift shop and also Brewster's coffee stand. I froze the images a few seconds so you could all take a look at the design and actually write down the creator codes yourselves. So here I am customizing the panels and also the stands so that I could put out around my museum. So from here until the end of the video, I actually won't add any more commentary because one of the surprise KK songs is actually going to come up, so enjoy. But I will add comments on the side, so please read those. And see you at the end of the video. So here's the final reveal of my museum. Thank you to those of you who stuck around to watch the whole video. You can see most of the museum already, but I'll provide some commentary about the placement of the objects. So, time for the tour! As you can see right now, I'm repping the museum with the fossil hat and the museum shirt I got from my mini gift shop. And I'll show you all that in a bit. In the front, I have 2 lion dogs and 2 shell lights. In my opinion, the lion dogs aren't super fitting for this theme because lion dogs give more of an imperial feel, which doesn't really match the European themed museum too much. But I put them here because they at least match the floor I put in the back. And looking at the other stone furniture, I didn't really think anything else was fitting for this entrance. But this is a museum, so it showcases culture, right? So I think overall it's acceptable to put these dogs in the front. As for the shell lights, it makes the exterior look kind of busy right now, but I put them there because at night it really illuminates the entrance, as you will see when I actually show the night version of my museum. So now we're going to move to the left side of the museum exterior. So over here we have simple panels that I customized, and I actually found really nice custom designs from Reddit, and I added the custom designs to these panels. So here we have each panel that represents one of the exhibits in the museum. So over here we have the art exhibit panel, and then we have the fish exhibit panel, and then bug exhibit panel, and then fossil exhibit panel. And then in front of each of these panels I put a floor light, and it actually looks really nice at night. And the floor light actually matches the background of each of these panels. Okay, so first off I just want to talk about the hedge that I used. So before the hedge I used an iron fence, but ever since the update I wanted to use the hedge because it looks a lot nicer. Yeah, it looks more green. Okay, so up here we have, in the very top is the T-Rex fossil, and then over here is, I believe it's called a 𝒂𝒊𝒄 fossil. So the 𝒂𝒊𝒄 is more like the aquatic dinosaur. Alright, so now let's go to the right side. So over here we have Brewster's stand. So Brewster is a pigeon, and he used to own in a cafe in all the other Animal Crossings, but we haven't seen him in this one. But I heard there's going to be an update with Brewster for the museum, so I'm kind of excited. But it's not really confirmed yet, so I can't get my hopes up too much. But anyways, in the spirit of Brewster, I made him a little coffee stand, and it's supposed to be like Starbucks. It has a little coffee grinder and then a little espresso machine right here. And then here's a little menu I put on the side. So it's just really cute. And this is also another custom design that I found, and I'll share the link in the description below. Alright, so here is a Spino. Up here is a Triceratops. So in each of the corners, and actually this whole museum exterior, I just put a bunch of fossils just because it makes it look more like a museum. So in order to see the next dinosaur, we have to go to the front of the museum. So looking up, you see two heads peering on top of the museum. So these are the Brachio-dinosaurs, and they were the only ones that were big enough to actually be seen behind the museum. Okay, so I put fountains over here because if you see a museum like this, it has to have a fountain somewhere, right? And then I put another fossil over here, and this fossil is called a megalo. And it looks like a very ancient deer. I put park benches here so that whoever comes to the museum could relax in front of the fountain. Alright, so time for me to actually talk about the tiles. So these tiles are all custom designs as well. So first I put modern stone pattern, and then I put this custom design on there. So they really complement each other. And then I put lights over here so that the path could be illuminated when going in the museum. So here is my favorite part. So this is the gift shop. In the front, I put some rope fences to actually separate the gift shop from the rest of the plaza. So in the gift shop, I added a bunch of really nice souvenirs people could come get when they go to the museum. So there's 3 different types of shirts and a hat, and these are custom designs I found on Reddit. So they were just very nice, and I just had to include some kind of gift shop in the museum. And then in the back you could see that I have a fossil that people would come get, and then 2 other assessed fossils. And as you can see on the floor, there's a purple floor light. So this concludes the tour of my museum area in the day. Stick around for the tour at night because you don't want to miss the super cool illuminating lights. Overall, thank you everyone for watching my video and supporting me on my channel. I have gained so much from all of you during my Animal Crossing journey. I hope you found this video helpful. I left a description to all of the custom designs that I used below, so you could all use them on your islands. If you're new, please check out my first island project on revamping my Japanese village and my initial island tour. Also, subscribe to see me terraform and develop my island some more. There's now an official Mushroom Games Discord that my friend made, so feel free to join and come mess around with me and my friends, or connect with other people who are playing Animal Crossing. Thank you all again for your support, and good luck with developing your islands.